Namaskar, good morning, Ram Ram. We are here to tell you about your month of March. But yes, this is also one of the transit which is happening on 15th of March. This is transit of astrology. Akashji will teach you from Canada sitting, but you can be in any part of world by Zoom. You can join this course, Astrology for Beginners, 8-week course. Syllabus on the screen, phone number on screen, link in description box, and you can join this course and learn astrology in simplest and in deeper way. So most welcome. And now let's talk about the month of March because this is one of the first month of 2025 which have the biggest transit ever of 2025, which is Saturn. But what else than this Saturn? Is there any something more interesting in 2025 March? Let's welcome Akash. Namaskar, Ram Ram.
Namaskar, Namaskar, Rohitji, Ram Ram. So, March 2025. Everyone is talking about this, and especially because of the Saturn transit. But many people have forgot that there are two eclipses also happening in March. So, it is also related to the transits of planets. But it's going to be a very, very beautiful month for all the people who are watching the video and all the people who reside on this universe, Earth. Rohitji, when we look at the beginning of March, 2nd of March, Venus, who's the Maraka for Aries ascendant people, will become retrograde. And this retrograde motion is just to maintain that positivity, that power in the 12th house for Aries ascendant people. Because here is where the eclipse, or when we call the transit of Sun, then what do you say, Saturn, everyone is happening. This time, the most important placement for Aries ascendant people is the 12th house, or for anyone is the sign of Pisces, because this month there is nothing happening except Pisces getting afflicted or getting affected or transits, retrograde. See, Venus retrogrades in Pisces, Sun enters Pisces, Mercury retrogrades in Pisces, Saturn enters Pisces. Everything is around the sign of Pisces. In an overall sense, there is going to be ending of lot of old patterns and beginning of lot of new patterns that you will see for Aries ascendant people. Especially Rohitji, when we look at this kind of transits and this kind of placements of planets, when suddenly planets start getting retrograde, this means that there is a lot of inward energy. This is the time that people will feel a lot of you can call the word stuck. They will not be able to move forward, because sometimes not moving forward is also a part of a bigger plan. If we move forward in such situations, we can get some kind of big trouble or maybe big kind of losses. But here all the planets are telling us that not to get into too much of chaos. We may see the 12th division here, and that is the division related to foreign travel, expenditure, fear, enemy, health problems. A lot of health problems have been going on for Aries ascendant people in the past. Many people who are going through a very difficult Mahadashanta, like Rahu and Sun, like Sun and Rahu. This kind of Mahadashas, Antardashas can create some more chaos. Sometimes when we look at planets, it's not only chaos for us, but chaos for the people around us also. That means our family, our extended family. Venus retrograde in Pisces is going to help you and save financial losses. And second things that is going to do in a very better way is save relationship losses. So we should take it in a very positive way, not in the negative way. Sun, on the other hand, will enter into Pisces. Now, Rohitji, listen, Rahu is silently staying or, residing in this sign of Pisces. Very soon, it's going to be making transit here to get into the sign of Aquarius. That means as soon as Sun will enter here on 14th of March, it will be in close proximity to the point of Rahu, or we call the north node of the moon. When these two are together, and especially in the 12th house, health has to be taken into one of the most considerate. You have to be considerate about your health. 12th house is expenditure. Expenditure on legal troubles, legal places also can be happening. In a good way also. Someone may be registering their house, so for that legal expenses goes. But someone may be get into a fight suddenly because of your mind being afflicted, and you can also get into such some trouble. Sun is the lord of the fifth house and the 12th house. Children, those who are pregnant, especially those who are supposed to deliver, very extremely careful and extremely vigilant during this time because the eclipse energy has already begun. Not only this, when we see Rohiji here, 13th and 14th will be a total lunar eclipse also. So we need to be very careful about making any decisions during this period. I would suggest from 12th of March till 4th of April, every big decision should be parked aside and not to be made because you can be under illusion, you can be under desperation, you can be under some kind of problems also during this time. When the fifth house lord is in the 12th house, there can be challenges related to children, sending them abroad, or if your children are in foreign countries, some kind of issues may arise and you may have to spend some extra money here. On top of that, Rohitji, Mercury will get retrograde in Pisces. If you look at Mercury here, Mercury is also the lord of the third and the sixth house. That means workplace wise, there can be some kind of again inward energy which can restrict you to do few things. Many people may get a job offer, but suddenly they will say, we have put it on hold. Just please wait right now. This can be a situation here. It's not a very negative month, but it's a month of caution. It's a month where you have to be very careful about how your approach towards expenses, toward traveling, towards your bad habits, towards your things related to do with the government. But on the positive side, as soon as Saturn will enter into Pisces, it's a very big transit. Solar eclipse will be happening on the same day, 29th of March, when it enters into Pisces. This is exactly that point. I always speak about it, and I always spoken about it when, it was a time when Saturn was just born, and Ma Chaya, she took Saturn to Lord Surya, and she gave it in the hand of Lord Surya, and he saw Saturn. And exactly at that time, there was an eclipse. Exactly as soon as Saturn enters here, this is the period of eclipse. That same eclipse that happened that time is going to happen this time as well. And it's a solar eclipse. Caution, Moon will also be here, Rohitji. Moon will also be here. So it's not only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's 6 planets together in the 12th house. We'll be making a separate video for this. What are the caution that is required for 6 planets? But to tell something about, briefly here, Saturn's position becomes very nice because it is entering into a Dushtana. Dushtana is very nice place. 12th house is very nice place for Saturn. Saturn is the lord of the 10th and the 11th house. So you'll get lot of gains in the next 2.5 years about your career, about your social circle, lot of gains. But it can also create isolation. Lot of isolation can be happening to Aries ascendant people, which may be a cause of concern. Your wealth finally will start get accumulated. You will see that great things related to your workplace and your destiny also will be in your support. But this period of eclipse is the period where you have to be careful, especially vulnerable people, children, older people, pregnant women should be inside the house, all curtains closed, everything very dark. And the best thing that is happening for Aries ascendant people, and it comes once in a lifetime, such kind of opportunity, because after so many thousand years, everyone is collected in this house, and this is the house of liberation, moksha. This is the time that if any ritual done between 28, 29, 30th related to do with spiritual, maybe even small meditations, this can take you towards moksha, take you towards some powerful spiritual, upbringing in your life. It's don't take this time very lightly. It is an absolute time to be going inward and trying to do some meditation, some sadhana. Those who are trying to do some siddhis, especially related to some ishta, like siddhi of Lord Vishnu, siddhi of Ma Lakshmi, and you're doing some chanting for a very long time. Your guru has given some mantras. This is the time to claim that mantra 100%, so that whenever you speak that mantra, suddenly you get real benefit of it immediately, not even have to wait for it. How in the show Ramayana and Mahabharata, they put one, arrow on the thing, and they take some mantra, and suddenly some, all the effects start coming that, it is active right now. Same way, your also life will get that kind of active during this time. It is a very extremely powerful month of lot of ups and downs. Astrology has to be seen in the most positive sense. We don't want to see the difficulties, we want to see the opportunities as well. Difficulties are there and it will be always there in your life. Tell me, how many people who are watching right now is completely debt free? There is no problem, no health. No one can be like this. We all will have problem, but the opportunity to get rid of misery, to get into put one more step into spiritual side, is this time for you. All the best, guys. It's a very, very awesome big transit. If you want to make the use of it, you can make the use of it. If you want to make miserable time out of it, then go into a little bit of wrong decisions. That's how it can happen. So make sure that you are very, very extremely slow like a snail. The slower you are, the more possibility of not getting into some, you know danger very like quickly. Slowly you will see, you will feel the danger if there is any danger. Otherwise, use this time for the beautiful opportunity of you making yourself more closer to God. All the best, guys. I hope that this transit brings you a lot of luck. At 15th of March, we are starting the astrology for beginners course also. So if you want to enroll, all the best. Let's enroll and let's learn together. Let's navigate all the things together here. All the best. Taurus ascendant. The ascendant lord on the day of 2nd of March is becoming retrograde. It is not a bad news. It is just that more caution is required in things that has to deal with your social profile. Sometimes when we are outside, when we are talking to people, when we are in very, extrovert mode, in this time we have to be a little bit of careful, because this house, the Pisces house, is preparing for a very, very big, you know some blockbuster movie is going on here with climax, action, drama, everything is going in the 11th house for you. The house related to your wishes, hope, the house related to your gains, actual money gains, like big gains that we see. House related to your, also your siblings, elder siblings, or, big wishes from your mentors, from your teachers. Communication from your teachers and mentors. Suggestions that they give you is all seen from the 11th house. Ascendant Lord is not only the Ascendant Lord, it is also the 6th house Lord. Venus is also the 6th house Lord here, going into the 11th house, getting retrograde in exalted position. It means even with being so powerful, they refrain from making any big changes or decisions during this time. You will feel this is not the right time for me to make decisions, not the right time for me to, you know extrovertly go out and do this. And this is a very good feeling that if you will get such things, Venus is telling you that try to be now more isolated, more introvert, rather than showing an extrovert attitude. Especially Rohiji, if you see Venus retrograde Pisces, Sun enters Pisces, Mercury retrograde Pisces, Saturn enters Pisces. Have you ever seen a month where there is only one sign and all the planets attacking that one sign only? It is very, very rare. Sun enters into Pisces here. Look at Sun. The 4th house Lord goes into the 11th house. But as soon as it enters, because Rahu is in retrograde motion, already ready in a month or two, in May it will come, 18th of May it will come to the 10th house for you. So it is already in close proximity, and Sun and Rahu's, all this we call enmity, or we call the energy exchange between them, that is not very supposed to be very great, is starting, and you may start feeling the effect of it. Especially this effect you will feel in mostly your social circles, in your friendships, in your income. You will see a check has come of $1 million, but you will be told not to put it right now because we are just waiting for some funds to get clear. So such kind of, you know things It's in Hindi it is called हाथ आया मुंह ना लगा. You got it, but you cannot taste it. That kind of things can be seen here. On the other hand, Sun is the lord of the fourth house in the 11th house. There will be extreme support that you will get from your family members. If there is very bad family equation or family trouble that was going on, you will see that now things are suddenly moving in the right direction. People are coming to your support from their own interest, not like if you are forcing them. And that's a very, very good news here. Sometimes when such kind of situations happen, like Sun is entering into Pisces and it is with close with Rahu, also remember Sun and Rahu are not bad. In Trump's chart, Donald Trump, Sun and Rahu are in the 10th house, and because of that only he became the second time the prime minister, the president, sorry. So remember that Sun and Rahu together means big positions also. But the only issue here is that it's going to be an eclipse this time, and especially starting from the lunar eclipse. When lunar eclipse happen, Rohitji, when moon will be with Ketu and sun will be with Rahu, they will be exactly meeting the points together, and a total lunar eclipse is supposed to happen in the fifth house. Fifth house is the house that is related to speculative gains, children, and 11th house is gains together. So this time, if you are eyeing or worrying too much or putting too much effort into speculative gains, this is where some kind of issues can arise. Trouble related to children, either on the mentally or on the money side, is also seen. In love life, because this fifth house is where the eclipse will happen, moon will be there. Here, any love life, anything that has to do with your romantic partners, is where you can see some kind of rift here, or some kind of someone trying to con you, someone trying to just play with your emotions. You will find out. On that same time, 15th of March is when Mercury will get retrograde into Pisces. Venus already retrograde, Mercury getting retrograde. Second and the fifth house lord, this is another news, says no investments during this time. Try not to invest during this time if you are going through any Mercury Mahadasha, any what you say, Mars Mahadasha, Mercury Mahadasha, Venus Mahadasha, Sun Mahadasha. Try not to get into any kind of investment, and especially for Mercury period, absolutely no investment should be done. Mercury is the planet of speech, and for you, it is the planet that is related to your speaking. It is planet of communication. For you, it rules exactly the creativity area part and the speaking. No commitment to friends or social circles during this time, because this commitment can turn out to be a nightmare for you. Try to be silent. Try to not interact with too many people. That's what is required. And when Saturn enters into Pisces, your Yoga Karaka, the 9th and the 10th house lord, going into the 11th house is great news. But that day is again an eclipse, solar eclipse. And this time, very important for all the older, yani all the grandfather, grandparents, parents, as well as very young children, to be into very much safety. Also pregnant, all the pregnant women or who are planning to get conception done, they also need to be very, very careful. A very elaborated video on this we will make, that what does this transit mean, how does this affect you, what are the precautions that you need to take. Point by point we will discuss, but this is just a monthly horoscope to give you an idea that okay, what are the planetary alignments here and how we want to be safe. Rashi Parivartana has happened, Rohitji, between the sign of Venus and between the sign of Jupiter. Jupiter in the house of Venus, Venus in the. But here, Venus is retrograde. That means the energy is inward. Even being exalted in this place, Sun is going to combust everyone, does not matter. Sun is going to take the power, take the lead here. And exactly according to the Puranas, according to the times, according to the Vedic stories also, here it shows that this was exactly the time when Saturn was born. And Saturn was born in the hand of, when Sun took it in the hand, complete an eclipse happened. And just see, Saturn will be not even at 0.030 degrees, like not even 30 minutes pass. It will be an eclipse, and that is the exact time of birth of Saturn. And this is not so simple that such kind of planetary alignments happen. This is thousands and thousands of years it takes for such kind of planetary alignments to happen. I think after 556 years, we will see such kind of alignment. So, very careful in terms of your social circle, very careful in terms of commitment, wishes, hopes, anything we have, we should just put a little bit of halt on them and try to be more spiritual. The energy of spirituality is going to be working more, not to get into any kind of fights or arguments with your mentors, teachers. Saturn, on the other hand, this transit is a very great transit because now it will be aspecting all the friendly signs, that is the ascendant, where Jupiter is here to protect you. It will look at the fifth house, again the house of Mercury. It will look at the, you know, the ninth house, that is related to your destiny getting, sorry, eighth house, that means related to your occult sciences, and a lot of research based activities coming on the surface. So, in an overall sense, Saturn also is going to make sure that your longevity becomes very nice. And for that, it can also give you some underlying condition, like, some kind of health problems can also arise during this time, because this 11th house is sixth. From the sixth, 1 2 3 4 5 6, it's also house of small diseases. But it will surface because Saturn from the next 2.5 years will sit here and look at the eighth house with the 10th aspect, and that means lot of karma related to research, lot of karma related to, you know lot of karma related to the eighth house things, like age related, that you will be working too hard on yourself to become a nice, come into proper routine. There will be also possibility that a lot of fear goes away, and lot of positive, lot of sins that you have done in the past, lot of bad deeds, now it's turning into good deeds. You'll do karmic activities to make it much better for you. Overall, a month of caution, a month where you need to be careful enough not to make any big commitments in your social circle, and try to avoid any large gatherings, because there also in this so many, Rahu also being here, Sun, everyone being here, there can be challenges related to large gatherings, and where you can have a little bit of disturbance on your health. But otherwise, all the best. There's a 15 March 2025 astrology for beginners course. Last time this video you will see, otherwise we are ending this. No more joinees. This whatever is joined has joined, and all the best. Gemini. When we talk about Gemini here, Venus gets retrograde in Pisces in the 10th division for your chart. Venus here is the lord of the 5th and the 12th house. That means expenses also, creativity, and name fame also. In this chart, especially Gemini ascendant people, if Venus is in very favorable position, and certainly like this, they get international name and fame as well. So they are very, very famous people. If by chance they have natally present Venus in 26 or 27 degrees. Here in this chart, when Venus will retrograde into Pisces, this is the time that 10th house, career is the placement for Gemini this whole month, where you have to be in extremely caution. You cannot just ignore the career part. You just cannot ignore any kind of things that are happening for you, around you, or by you. You cannot take things lightly during this month. Venus retrograde in Pisces is another news here, that those people who are in foreign countries may also return back to their home country. It's not very good news, but this is what it is. Because what has happened? The 12th house lord has become retrograde. It is trying to extract you from that place and bring you to your hometown, because it is aspecting the debilitated aspect on the 4th house. Unfortunately, I have seen, and I have been talking to many people who lost their jobs. Suddenly, sometimes astrology can pinpoint that there is problem in the job. But I was just asking, Samantha was telling me that some of the client reached out and said that, I discussed that job wise problem will happen, and it happened. I said, okay, only alone happened to you? Or no, he said 4,300 people. I said, see, there is a very big layer here. Astrology is not working. This is how your company is, trying to make changes. You will find a job very soon, and he will find a job, the person he will find a job in 2 months. I said, since many people said that job went away, no one is saying that, oh, you know what, we got just speculative gains, 3-4 months salary, and still we will find another job. So sometimes these conditions also create sudden wealth, but losses for a very short period of time. This is what is seen for all the Gemini. There may be chances that you are coming back to your home country. Many people who are in foreign countries. Sun, on the other hand, will enter into Pisces here. So it is going to be in close proximity with all the other planets. And when it enters here, Rahu and Sun have already started. They're crossing the border here. It has started, deportation. Crossing the border, Sun says, I am in full power. I'm in Pisces now. Rahu's also in Pisces. So it will automatically come into that close degrees here. And your eclipse energy will start. And in the house related to your career. Career at utmost the most important factor or most important interdependent activity on our life. If you don't have a good career, we don't have a good life. And here, career is the placement where you have to be extremely careful, and everything that has to do with your fame, ability, rank, dignity, wealth, everything is rooted to the 10th house of karma. Sun is the lord of the third house, and getting into the, what you say, the 10th house, which is 8th from the third. And was it 8th? 8th is sudden ups and downs. Our ancestors did not call eclipse or any such events little bit dangerous because, you know, because of any reason. It is a period of challenge. Ancestors used to call Rohitji, and especially forget about our Hindu Sanatani. When we go into the Mayan culture or the Sumerians, during the eclipse, they used to completely hide out. Like for days, there would no one outside. They used to kill before. They used to keep their hunting before, so that they don't have to get out of their houses. They used to feel that some monster is coming and eating away the sun, and that is true because Rahu does that only. It eats the sun for a very brief period. You will see that during the time of eclipses, Rohitji, it is a very big pattern because I have a dog in my house, right? And those people who have pets, you will see that what happens is they will start hiding. They will be very, very, they will not eat food. They will just hide. They will be in dark places because they have the sense that there is something wrong. Some energy is wrong here. And this time for Gemini ascendant people, this is happening in the area related to your career. Darkness. What are the precautions? To be extremely spiritual and devoted during this time. Sometimes we don't get something related to always the karmas of the last life. We get something very instant. Karmas are also, we see videos like instant karma, that kind of instant karma. Sometimes you must have been bad, or sometimes you have not been adjusting with your juniors, and now the time comes when your seniors will not adjust with you. So it is just a cycle of life that what goes around comes around. Positively here, if you are in any kind of, you have done good karmas, good deeds, you have helped everyone, and I feel that Gemini people are the most genuine and the most intelligent, analytical people of all, and you always help, then you will start seeing a lot of great success because Mercury is also getting retrograde here, which we will talk about. But eclipse, total lunar eclipse happens in the fourth house as well. Not a very good time to invest into property. Property can be challenged here. Property can create some kind of illusion where you can lose some money. Health of mother has to be taken utmost care. In fact, this time more than mother, father has to be taken care as soon as his Mercury also becomes retrograde in the 10th house. Mercury is still protecting its own sign because it is putting an exalted aspect there. But otherwise, father sign, you see a lot of things happening in the house of father, 10th house. Health of father has to, and if you're going through a Sarisati and if you're going through a transitional Sarisati, that means from the first phase to the second phase, then to extremely careful about father's health because suddenly some wrong events also can happen. After this eclipse, Mercury getting retrograde is again telling you that physical outlook as well as your emotional, both the places you have to maintain a little bit of, little bit of, you cannot maintain anything because this time is asking for a lot of surrender. You have to surrender things. You have to not act or not scream on things. You have to just patiently wait till 4th of April. Let all the energy pass away and then you will start seeing some great success. 15th of 17th of March actually is the date which I have figured out. 17th of March onwards till 4th of April is when you should be very quiet. Doing lot of things related to do with divine, like mantra chanting, trying to, if your guru has given you some kind of, or father has given you, any father figure, guru figure has given you some kind of mantra chanting or telling you to do some rituals, do that. That will help you. The biggest event that happens, Rohiji, is Saturn will enter into Pisces, into the fifth house, into the 10th house for all the Gemini ascendant people. This Saturn is the Saturn that is ruling your 8th house of sudden ups and downs and the ninth house of your luck and devotion and, spiritual behavior and whatnot. Whenever the Papa Graha will be in progress from the 8th and the ninth house, that means Saturn in that case, it will be a time of really, really relief. But not at this time. On 29th of March till 4th of April, you will feel the energy of Saturn making everything so super slow that sometimes, problems happen. The world may see some kind of, in fact, on the world chart, if you see, they may also see some kind of losses, earthquakes, there can be some tsunamis also. All the, if you see this energy that is going towards the 10th house is already leading to things falling up from the sky. If you see that, many things like aeroplanes and all are falling now, crashes happening because of this specific energy. And especially Pisces being a water sign, lot of pull from that area will come. Saturn in Pisces is good news for foreign, what you say, those people who are thinking of going of higher education to foreign country, those people who are thinking of getting, a little bit of house constructed for them, or those people who are thinking of doing marriage. It's going to be good for you. This whole 2.5 years. We have made a complete video on it. You can go and watch it. But this time, when these 6 planets are aligning here, Moon will also be here when the eclipse, solar eclipse happen when Moon, Sun are together with Rahu. And lunar eclipse happen when Sun and Rahu are together, and in the opposite side there is Ketu. Both the things are happening in this month only. So a period of little bit of care, a period of little bit of not being scared, but being careful, and a period where you have to be making sure that you are not having any affliction with your superiors, with the ruling power, with government. No cheating, no unethical activity. Otherwise, this whole eclipse, this darkness will bring up all the things on surface. In this darkness, all the negative things that you have done will be as spotlight as possible. Solar eclipse is here, so make sure all the pregnant, sisters, all the people who are conceiving, all the old people who are sick and vulnerable, all the young kids, like very, very newborn kids, especially less than a year, should not be going out in the sun. Don't look at the sun directly. It's very, very harmful. Last time I was seeing that solar eclipse is happening last year, and everyone is watching like very nicely. Out of them, 70% lost their eyesight, and they cannot see now very clearly. They're seeing blurry. And this was a top headline in our CBC Canada News, Rohitji, that out of these people who were working there, everyone they discussed, and when the survey happened, they said 70% of people had eye problems. So it is not a very great event to watch with naked eye. Watch it on the TV. Why you want to go out and watch it? 15th of March 2025, we are doing astrology for beginners, the 8-week course. So all the best here. Those who have joined, welcome. Those who are joining, super. Cancer ascendant. Now look at Cancer ascendant and the 9th division, that is the division related to your destiny, division that is related to your devotion, faith, is where there is so much going on this month. This is also the division that is 12th from the 10th house. And here, some negative things. Always astrology is positive. Always planetary positions and combinations cannot be that positive. It has been documented that when Sun, Saturn, Rahu, all these are together, and if you see Sun, Mercury, Rahu, Saturn, Venus, and Moon, everyone will be aligning this month. Mercury is a good friend of Rahu, Saturn, Venus. Rahu is a good Saturn of Venus, Mercury, and Venus, Mercury, and Saturn. Saturn is a good friend of Venus, Rahu, Mercury. Sun is an enemy of all. Your second house lord, that is the Maraka for you, is enemy of all the people that it is going on with. 4 enemies together. And Mercury, you know why enemy? Because the nature of Mercury becomes polluted with whatever Mercury is. So Mercury will, rather than listening to Sun, it will take the qualities of Venus, Rahu, and Saturn. This is going to be a very, very, very extraordinary time for all the Cancer ascendant people, especially that is related to your occupation. All the planet 12th from its 12th from the 10th house, and 10th house lord in the 12th house. Job losses can be at the major risk during this time. No luck working, no devotion working, no gratitude working, nothing working. This is the time of some darkness, some silence that you will see this month. There is good news. That good news is that you're spiritually going to be very, very much evolved. You will be spiritually devoting yourself. In fact, those who are doing lot of spiritual activities like doing their mantra chantings properly, doing Vishnu Sahasranam, doing all their religious practice, going to mosque, going to church, making sure that they are very much associated with the spiritual energy or the religious energy around them, they will benefit during this time, because this is the house, like fifth house is the house called of Purva Punya. This is the house of current life's punya, that all the current life, those who have done good deeds, those who have done donations, those who have done good, being good human being in life, they will see a great time for themselves. But unfortunately, out of 10,000 people that are watching, only 1,000 of you must be in that position. Otherwise, we have all have some weakness, and that weakness can be challenging this time now, this month. Venus, who's the Lord here of the fourth and the 11th house, is getting retrograde in the ninth house. Your property related items and your hopes or wish or some goals that you were supposed to achieve is going to get little bit delayed. On top of that, Sun will enter here in Pisces on 14th of March. This is the time Sun will be already in close proximity with Rahu, because it has entered into the same border of the zodiac. It will start acting up now, and this acting up can be creating little bit of challenges health wise for father, for your gurus, for your mentors, in fact sometimes for you also, or your second child. If we see here, second child can have a little bit of health problems. This might have already started because eighth house, sun is now moving to the ninth house. I can tell you, Rohitji, my daughter Grace, her mother has Cancer ascendant. Exactly, she's not feeling well. Every time she's getting cold cough problem. She's getting hurt a lot. She got hurt on her face, on her head. Everything is like here, what is it, blue in color now. Exactly because of the energy like this. 3 times she was going to hospital. She went to doctor, 2 times one injection. Everything is happening in that way. So I can see it in my house also. It's not like only other places. On the other hand, father's health can suddenly be challenging, which can create a little bit of panic in your my heart, mind, and soul. Careful. On top of that, here the lunar eclipse is going to happen in the third house and the ninth house. This axis is where the lunar eclipse happens. Moon will enter into the third house with Ketu, and this is the place of your communication. When Moon is in lunar eclipse, what happens? You have no control over your mind completely goes blank, and this time you can make negative comments, problems, sometimes fight. Third house is parakrami, you become parakrami, that okay, now emotion does not, I will fight, and that is where comes fight is equal to loss. We don't want such losses, brothers and sisters and friends. We want to make sure that we are completely aligned with the astrological energy, and we make sure during this time, especially during the eclipse period, we are mono means we are quiet, in fact only and only spiritually very loud, quiet by mouth. Spiritually inside, if the fire should be erupting, and you should be completely devoted towards heavy mantra chanting in your brain, whatever you are. You want to go to a mosque, you want to go to a temple, you want to go to any church, you want to go to any mandir, anywhere you want to go, but you have to be spiritually extremely very, very much evolved during this time, because aane wala samay, the coming time is also a challenge, because here what happens is Mercury gets retrograde, which is the owner of the 12th house and the third house. Again, communication lord is also retrograde. 12th house lord is in the ninth house. Losses, extra expenses related to health also can happen in family. and then suddenly Pisces will enter. Saturn will enter into Pisces. This is little good news, because after 2.5 years, Saturn will be removing its negative aspects and finally will be putting aspects in very, very good places. But the period of eclipse and Saturn coming here is exactly that period when Saturn was born. You see the story. Sun takes Saturn into the hand. Suddenly, Sun comes into complete grahana. What is this? This is because Saturn was at 0 degrees. That means he was just born. Here also Saturn is at 0 degrees, and same day eclipse is happening. Can you relate to that story now? Here, ninth house is the house that is completely getting affected. We can say affected, afflicted actually, and you need to be careful about it. Always, astrology cannot be 100% very, very positive. There are places, there are combinations which can create a little bit of challenges. Lot of spiritual mantra chanting, lot of things related to do with your devotion towards God, devotion towards your own self, your everything should be invoked during this time. Okay. Saturn, for Saturn, we have made a complete, very long video about how Saturn is, what it will do, where it will aspect. Now, the next video that is coming is of Sarisati also. So that we will also say. But just, my wife is going through Sarisati Roji. Third phase she has entered. Already, सब कुछ लॉस हो गया, जॉब चला गया, प्रॉब्लम है, हेल्थ प्रॉब्लम, ट्रबल, सब कुछ चल रहा है, everything is happening. Now this is going to happen after 29th of March. Some relief is going to come for Cancer ascendant people in terms of their health. Travel can happen because ninth house is also travel to pilgrimages, travel to, but during that solar eclipse, try all the pregnant women, all the sisters, all the second time mothers, make sure that if you're pregnant or just given birth, try to be in darkness, try to do a lot of Vishnu Sahasranam mantra chanting, try to not cook during that time. We'll make a complete point by point based video about what it's going to be, how it's going to be. So do subscribe, otherwise you will miss that. And all the best. 15 March, we are doing astrology for beginners course. So those who have joined, all the best. Those who are joining, I'll see you on the other side very, very soon. Leo ascendant people. Now, when we talk about Leo ascendant, Rohitji, here, it's not a very easy transit for Leo as well, especially the 8th house. 8th house is the place when the Lord of the 3rd house and the Lord of the 10th house, that is Venus, is going to come, is placed already, and it's going to get retrograde. Retrograde Venus in the 8th house means suddenly the blessing that you're getting, sudden ups and downs that you were seeing in your life, and especially ups you were seeing, suddenly it will be a halt during this time. You will see that nothing great or nothing like positive is happening here. Sometimes even things related to intimacy with your partner is a challenge here. You may not get support from your partner. Challenges from in-laws also can be seen. Challenges from in-laws or some trouble, some fight, some rift with in-laws is also seen. Some communication issue, like you will not be able to express yourself very rightly. Work-wise, the planet is sitting exactly 11th from its work sign. That means the sign of Taurus. And here it is sitting in the 8th house. Sudden ups and downs in work is also seen. Some kind of problems can come. So be very in control over what and how you say, what you say, and how you, portray yourself outside. Sun, on the other hand, ascendant Lord also comes into the 8th house. Well, Sun will go anywhere, it will burn away everything. Here it will remove the energy of Venus, Mercury, and very powerfully it is going to come into close contact with the Dushtana planet, that is Rahu. Honestly, for Leo, Rahu is more powerful here than Sun. Ascendant Lord goes here and loses all the benefic qualities. Here Rahu comes here and regains all the benefic qualities, and all the benefic qualities of Rahu is tamasic. It is evil. 8th house is the house of diseases, journey, anything to do with enemies, bad habits, fear, sin. You will see that there is going to be some increase in such things, which may be very, very aggressively affecting you. So Sun in the 8th house this time is going to be a challenging period, and we are entering into an eclipse in the 8th house. That means lot of possibilities of sudden ups and downs in life this whole month. Suddenly, long term illness can be declared here because 8th house is where all the planets, even the 6th house lord is going to go there. It is going to make sure that you improve the longevity, but otherwise, it's a problem. Luigi, there is going to be 13th on 14th, there's going to be total lunar eclipse, and that too in the second house of speech, family, speech, wealth, eyes, teeth, all the body organs, mouth, it rules everything like this. Finance. Very careful about investments. Don't invest during this time, or 15th of March onwards. It's like, you know, don't invest during this time at all. No investment should be done. No trust on any friends, any family members should be done that, okay, I put here, you put here, this money, that money. No. The more you will avoid, the more it will be in your favor. The more you will invest, all the planets are here in the 8th house to eat away the investments and not give you, any kind of returns on investments. 8th house is also the house that is related to, all the power that you get from your, from occult sciences and stuff like that. If occult scientists, all the people who are occult wise very very evolved and trying doing very great things, if somehow you get into, you know more and more research, this will be a very great time because you will be able to do some extreme siddhis. What is siddhi? Siddhi is a certification in occult science. It means that, okay, you are practicing something for a long time, now you are a master into it, and that will come through a guru. Those who want to do extreme siddhi, learning something or doing some kind of siddhi of some of deity, like some people do Bhairava siddhi, some people do Karna Pisachini, some people do, Mahalakshmi siddhi, some Saraswati Vaka siddhi. There are some see Mohini siddhi. Some do lot of siddhis. This is the time, if you are interested in any kind of occult practices to do siddhis, then this is going to happen in a very, very extreme righteous way. Not the wrong way. I'm not saying about tantra and mantra, like you become tantric and do bad things. No. Some good siddhis, like education siddhi. So do Ma Saraswati siddhi. Money siddhi, to wealth siddhi you do. Or any health siddhi, that means Dhanvantri ji siddhi. Something if you want to do during this time, absolutely you can do it. I am going to do it. I am going to do Saraswati Ma Siddhi during this time. Try to make sure that my vaka, my words become more true. So you will be able to get into such things and make the best out of this time. Mercury is retrograde, the second and the 11th house lord. Do not trust your social circles. Try to be away from any kind of schemes, investments, any kind of people who are trying to put you into speculative investments. Say no, not right now. This should be the answer. And then the biggest transit that is happening for you is your Viprit Raj Yog begins. 7th house, Saturn is coming to the 8th house. Many people will start Sadhisati like me. I am Aries moon. Sadhisati will happen. Capricorn, Sadhisati will end. Aquarius, last phase of Sadhisati. And for Pisces, it's going to be very troublesome. The second phase of Sadhisati, which is going to be 8th house Sadhisati, lot of controversies which has happened in the past can arise and come on surface. This Sadhisati is for the second phase of Sadhisati, especially health related or inheritance related problems can happen. But on the other hand, this is just an initial phase. But otherwise, Sadhisati is going to be very promising because it is looking at the 10th house, it is looking at the second, it is looking at the 5th house. So all the beautiful houses and all the places where Saturn can give you slow and steady but confirm expansion. Very, very great time for all the Leo ascendant people. Saturn's video we have made. Make sure that spiritually, if you want to evolve yourself, get into any siddhis, get into any kind of thing that has to do with what you say, um, penance, you will receive the fruits for it during this time. And especially 29th of March is like, do forget everything. Starting of solar eclipse till ending of solar eclipse, just do chanting, and that chanting will be depending on your birth chart, what, how, why not. So it depends on that, but otherwise do chanting that is related to your Ishta, that is related to the 8th house. If those were in astrology field, I see many astrologers also follow us, so they should also be doing Vaka Siddhi related to Ma Saraswati, which will help them, their knowledge and more power to the brain. All the best. 15th March 2025, we are doing astrology for beginners course, 8-week course, and hopefully you all will join, and there will be a so awesome, learning this time. Very good. Virgo ascendant. When we talk about Virgo ascendant, March 2nd is when Venus will enter into retrograde mode, and that is in Pisces in the seventh house. This time, the whole energy and everything is on the seventh house for Virgo ascendant people. That means related to relationship, spouse, your eating habits, marriage, partnership, and so many things. This is also the house called of Artha, that means related to money. Partnership money is also seen from this house. Sorry, this is the house of Kama. It is also seen that all the desires, all the sexual desires are also seen from this house. I forgot. So it has to be counted like this: Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. So if you see second house, seventh house, and 11th house are the house of Kamas. Kama. Kama means desires. Okay, don't take it on the wrong Kama Sutra types. Not that way. Here, if you see, Venus will retrograde, and Venus is the lord here that rules the second and the ninth house. That means it is the planet that rules your wealth, your money, wealth, your speech, and as well as your destiny, your devotion, and everything. Here, because this is the seventh house of partnership, if there is interdependence of you working in family business, there can be some challenges there. If you are in terms of wealth wise, you're working with some partnership, your destiny will not support you, and the partner's destiny will be much bigger and better for them. On the other hand, Venus getting retrograde here also means that because Venus is the planet of love, beauty, and all stuff of that, there can be challenges in such things like intimacy. Sometimes you like problems in health also related to your genitals, especially UTIs, urine infections, problems related to stomach. Some people may also get into such ugly fights that it can also lead to divorce in their chart or break of partnerships, which we will see. Sun, on the other hand, will enter into Pisces because Sun and Rahu will already, as soon as Sun enters here, will be into close conjunction because Rahu is moving towards backwards. Right, in 1 and 2 months, it has to reach the sign of Aquarius. So Rahu is already at the cusp and entering into the sign, not very close to the sign. And Sun enters here, they will be in close conjunction and Grahana. That means your eclipse energy will start in the seventh house. Very careful this time because Sun is with Mercury, Rahu, Venus. See, Venus is the Shukracharya, the Daitya Guru. Mercury, whoever it comes and sits with first, he will listen to them. So he will listen to the Daitya Guru. Rahu, on the other hand, is a Daitya himself. And on top of that, Surya here is the only planet, and especially the 12th house lord is coming into the 7th house, planet of losses coming into this. So losses in partnerships can happen. And this sometimes in this situation, some black magic, evil eye, and stuff like that also may work against you, which can bring challenges here, brothers and sisters. So in such areas, we have to be careful not to share your secrets. Sun is also the government, some kind of wraith of government. If you're going through some court cases, there can also be challenges. Unless and until Saturn comes here, you're not going to have victory. So some more challenges may arise or more delays may arise. 13th and 14th will be a total lunar eclipse. This lunar eclipse is not like a very small one. It is happening in the ascendant on your head. When moon will meet Ketu and when sun will meet Rahu, and they, these points come in between sun and Rahu and Ketu, such time eclipses happen. Here, eclipse is the first. Your body, your mind, your face, your attitude, your destiny, your fame, your nature, every aspect of your life gets affected when there is an eclipse in the first house. If you see generally moon plus sun or moon plus Ketu and Rahu and sun in these cases, you will see that a lot of problems related to their mind, like mind. I cannot use that word, but it happens. Mind things happen. There are things related to very. I was talking to someone, Rohiji, they had Pitra Dosh in their chart. Woman spent 6 crore rupees on some fraud Baba. Out of that, he took 50 lakh rupees for a puja. Can you imagine? She may be watching this right now. What happened? Because mind is afflicted, Pitra dosha is there. We cannot help it. Sometimes you have to learn the wrong way. Because of they were scared that this person can do some black magic, some Voshikaran, something on us. They had to spend some money. Never ever get into such traps. I would suggest everyone that God is great. There is no bigger power than God. All this tantric, vantrik, this, that, they cannot change your life, your destiny. No puja can change it unless and until you are devoted yourself. Sometimes puja does help. It's not like no. But more than that, ethical nature and your karma will help you mitigating the effects of bad planets. And there is nothing called as bad. Bad is us, our karmas. Planets are just doing their job. Here the eclipse happen, it can afflict your brain, mind, so be very careful of and very mindful about how you want to take things forward. Yeah, very careful. Later, in this situation, Mercury also gets retrograde here. Mercury is the ascendant as well as the 10th house lord in the 7th house. If you are promised to get some kind of a designation, that promise may not be fulfilled. There can be challenges, there can be places where they say promise is not right, man. This is not going to happen because already it is retrograde. This is the time to go back and ask yourself, do you really deserve this position? Are you willing to take this position, or is there any layer of partnership that you did not fulfill, or sometimes teamwork that you did not fulfill? So don't get disappointed, because if the heat of the moment, Rahu here will say, oh, done, done, very, just leave this, just quit this, I don't care, we will find something new. Don't come into such illusions at all. You cannot quit and leave during this time. You have to be there, you have to suffer this, you have to go through this. It is not a time of quitting, it is a time of understanding that why and where I lack, what do I lack. It is a time of not separating from your spouse. In fact, it is a time of trying to understand where I lack and how we can make these things better. See, remember, if your all the planetary combination is happening in some certain place, their planetary combination will be happening in certain places. So you cannot ignore that they are also going through same emotion, same energy. But it can be some, for example, 10th house, they're facing problem in career and you are giving too much stress. So they may say, okay, just screw it. Don't want to be together. Try to work out things. That's the only advice that I can give. I'm very small astrologer, not even an astrologer yet, trying to learn. Astrologers were Varahami Raji. Astrologers were, all this Brigu Rishi. They are astrologers. Who are we? We are just researchers, small people who are just trying to learn little bit 1% of this science. And those people who claim and call themselves astrologers, this, that, stupidity, man. We are all researchers. Look at very beautifully how the other astrologer I see, astrology practitioner, that is Navneet Chitkara ji. He has put very nice astro scientist Navneet Chitkara, because he says that I'm just doing a research in this project. Very nice. Dr. Arjun Pai, always very, very beautiful. He has put such nice videos and nakshatras out there. Pandit Sanjay Rath, wow, what a great, one of my teacher as well. Mr. K.N. Rao never ever called himself astrologer. He still writes K.N. Rao IAAS because he was in the administrative services in India. So astrologer बनने के लिए you need to be very, very big position. Here you become just researcher. You're looking at planets and trying to research things. Other than that, Saturn here will enter into Pisces. This is a very, very big transit, especially the 5th house lord, most benefit, the 6th house lord going to the 7th house will try to now give you justice in many areas. But as soon as the day Saturn enters here, this is exactly the day of birth of Saturn that happened earlier, and that was related to, getting some kind of, sun. When Chaya Mata goes to sun and gives Saturn in his hand, he looks at Saturn who's black in color. He says, oh, this cannot be my son. At that time, the whole eclipse happened. Saturn was at 0 degrees because he was 1 day old. Same way Saturn here is 0 degrees. Again, that eclipse is coming. Sun is going into eclipse, not even moon. It's not lunar, it's solar eclipse. So you have to understand the evidence. You have to understand the power of this kind of a sun will become completely helpless here. The 12th house lord is very helpless. It can go crazy, and 12th house is always losses, trouble, struggle. Spiritually, very great time, but otherwise, sleep problems, sleep pattern, fear, enemies, they will become more vulnerable for you. But Saturn, being the sixth house lord, coming into the seventh house, fifth house lord here, for the next 2.5 years, it's going to solve a lot of problems for you. Maybe there is possibility of you and your spouse to get into reconciliation. Maybe even business partners may come back to track and action. There is Saturn aspecting your ninth house. This means that higher education, more devotion and luck from God, you will see. It is aspecting the ascendant. That means you will see and try to become more peaceful, try to become more organized. And looking at the fourth house, it is going to enhance the karma related to your household duties as well. So you this period will become a very balanced period for Virgo ascendant people. All the best. It's a difficult month. Sometimes it's very nice, sometimes it's very difficult, but unfortunately, it is a little bit more hard on you. So try to be calm, relaxed, and don't make very, very extremely big decisions related to partnership or new ventures. All the best. 15 March, Astrology for Beginners. We are doing the 8-week course, and I would invite everyone to join. Those who have joined, all the best. Those who are joining, and see you very soon. Libra. Ruiji, when we talk about Libra, here the ascendant lord, the second day of March is when ascendant lord will become retrograde. Always, whenever we see any retrograde planet, any retrograde, this means that it has to do some of its past karmas, or maybe take care of some of the past karmas. That means if you have done something here in the last 1.5 month, after the time when Saturn came, when Venus came here and got exalted, and suddenly it must have given you something. Now it is a time to revisit that, and it will revisit and say that is there anything that has to be taken care of, anything that has wrong has been done, or anything that has been done which has not sufficed you, which has not given you the exact karma that you are supposed to get. It is exactly that time. Now remember, Rohitji, sometimes we get scared when such kind of events happen, retrograde, combust, oh my god, what we will do. It is all karmic. It is not that something wrong is going to happen. It is that if there is anything required to work for you in the healthcare, in the things related to do with your routine, your workplace, this is a time to reflect back on it, try to make things better and move forward. That's what this time is all about. But we have to also remember that Venus here is making a Vipreet Raj Yoga, 8th house lord in the you know uh, 6th house. This time you have to be very careful about any kind of diseases, especially any long term diseases that you have been ignoring for a while now. This is where some diseases or some problems can happen related to ignorance. In a simple way, if some long term problem is happening, you're not giving any, what you say, any attention to it. It may require attention now. On the other hand, this is not only Venus. In If you see here, this is the placement of Rahu also. So Venus and Rahu will be in very close conjunction during this time. This also means that suddenly in the workplace there can be illusional things happening, that you may feel that, oh, this person is doing wrong, someone is against me, there is some enemy here, someone is trying to put me down, someone is trying to put me up. Such kind of things is what you can be seeing during this period. For this, you should be absolutely very much careful. Sun, on the other hand, will enter into Pisces here, Rohitji, and the beginning of the eclipse energy will start. Both the eclipses, the lunar and the solar eclipses, Moon will be entering into Virgo, Sun will be entering into Pisces, and here the lunar and the solar eclipses energy start. But initially, lunar eclipse will happen. And when is lunar eclipse happening? It is happening around 13th and 14th, depending on what place and where you are residing. For that, we'll make a different separate video so that you know what to do, what not to do, what to expect, what not to expect. Ideally, this is not a very great period, because 12th house is where lunar eclipse is happening, and 12th house, when moon goes, the 10th house lord in the 12th house, there can be challenges or sometimes loss of job, loss of work, loss of dignity, loss of career, loss of action, loss of discipline, loss of wealth. Everything that has to be offered by moon for the 10th house, in the 12th house it can go and create some kind of endings for those things. Your expenditure happens, and there can be long distance travel also that will happen, and you may be able to come back to your home country for some reason. And I think that is the air in the USA right now, Rohit. So many people talk to me every day, laid off, will I find a job? And they have only 2 months to find a job, and it's very stressful. These people have been there from 10, 10, 12, 12 years, not their status is not cleared. What stupidity is this, man? Otherwise, Sun here is the 11th house lord, 8th from itself. Suddenly, in sometimes in your social circle, in your friends, in your colleagues, in your workplace colleagues, there can be sudden ups and downs that can lead to misunderstandings and sometimes fight also, Roichi. This is what can happen here. On top of that, Sun will be in close conjunction with Rahu, leading to an eclipse very soon, and that too in the sixth place of the health as well. Before that, Mercury is getting retrograde into Pisces. Now look at Mercury, the 12th and the ninth house lord. That means everything that has to do with foreign country. Getting retrograde in the workplace can create or cause trouble to people, especially residing in foreign countries, to return back to your home place. One challenge here. If you're by chance going to Mercury Mahadasha Antardasha, or if you're going to by any chance Ketu Antardasha Mahadasha, then the chances are more bigger. Mercury in the sixth house, especially the house related to health, can create problem in thyroid, can create problem with skin infections. And when Mercury and Rahu are together, suddenly stomach related problems, skin infections, lower abdomen problems, sometimes very gastric problems also can happen. This is not all. On 29th of March, Saturn will also enter into Pisces here. Rohit, Saturn entering into Pisces, and especially if you see this placement of Saturn, which is the lord of the fourth and the fifth house, extreme benefic planet, coming to a Dushtana, which is an extreme benefic placement for Saturn's residence also. It's very good, but the beginning is not so great because of the eclipse. It is that exactly 0 degrees 30 minutes when Sun and Rahu will come into an eclipse, and Saturn entering into this place. Same day eclipse happening is reminding us of the story when Saturn was born, and when Chaya Mata gives it in the hand of Sun. He looks at Sun, and suddenly there is complete eclipse, and some hatred starts between Sun and Saturn during that time till Saturn was 17 years of age. That is the kind of situation that we can see here in Libra, and especially in the health area, the eclipse on workplace, health, debt, some kind of enemies, some kind of law and order. Everywhere we have to be careful because these people, these layers of life can be creating some challenges for us. We'll be making a remedy video for this as well, that what remedies should be done, because everything we cannot cover here. So do subscribe, otherwise you will miss it. For more if you see more better things here, Saturn is going to aspect two Dushtanas. That means the 8th house, 12th house, also the third house, which is an Upchaya house. This is a very, very good aspect of Saturn because these are the areas of improvement, and Saturn will give you extreme great improvement in these areas. And it's going to be very, very amazing for all the Libra ascendant people overall in the long run for the next 2.5 years. But this March 2025, it's going to be a challenging position, challenging placement for all the people. Sorry, but I know you are the best, but sometimes time is a little bit challenging. 6 planets in one house, that too your sixth house, where benefic like Venus, benefic like Mercury, benefic like Moon, everyone will be here. So unfortunately, they are the key planets. Moon related to your work, Venus related to your ascendant, Tanubhava, as well as the Ashtama, that means sudden ups and downs. Mercury related to your destiny, Saturn related to your destiny and your creativity, and you all are coming under the effect of Sun during this time. And its Sun is going to be the most powerful, the 11th house Lord. There is no one else more powerful than Sun in the whole world, our world, except that there are more powerful planets there. But some challenges may happen. Let's hope for the best. Let's embrace spirituality. All the planets will be aspecting the 12th house of spirituality, spiritual exploration. So here your partner during this time will be spiritual energy, will be God Himself. You will be able to rely on some person for sure, and that is God for you. All the best. Do subscribe so that you do not miss the remedy video. And here, 15th of March 2025, we are doing astrology for beginners course. I know many people have joined, so all the best. And last time we are promoting, if you want to come, then join. After that, there is no joining anymore. Scorpio ascendant here. Venus is getting retrograde in Pisces. Venus is the 12th house lord as well as the 7th house lord. Here, it is a partial maraka. 7th house lord, 12th house lord losses, partial maraka. It is getting retrograde in the 5th house. If there is any challenges that we are facing or we might be facing related to children or health of children, or some kind of foreign travel of children, in fact for your love life also, anything to do with your marriage, love life, anything's getting fixed, getting delayed, there may now maybe more delays here. So I just spoke to a Scorpio ascendant Rohit 2 days before. She said कि my marriage नहीं हो, क्या बोलता है, engagement and roka, I don't know what she was calling. It was there on 11th March, but now the dadi of that family, other family, passed away, so we have to now put it to around 6 months later. So just see planets before even coming, they started to give effects. Here sometimes, here unfortunate things also happen because 12th house lord is in the 5th house and retrograde motion. Kids health may also get a little bit deteriorated because in this time, Scorpio, 5th house of your dharma, 5th house of children, 5th house of love life, 5th house of anything to do with luck, also health wise. If you look at the stomach and the lower abdomen area, 5th house is what always affect us. 12th house lord in the 5th house can also take you revisit a doctor to find out if any problem is happening in your chest, on your stomach area or not. So some kind of things like that has to be seen. On top of that, sun on the other hand will enter into Pisces here. Make sure that the 10th house lord come to the 5th house. Your creativity at work will be excellent, but can be illusion because Rahu here. So there is one question that someone asked Rohitji, that sun comes to every planet and makes it combust. Why does, and in sun and Rahu's battle, who is the winner? The answer is very true. Rahu is the winner. Someone who has power to put everyone into sleep, and some planet who does not even have a body comes here and makes him come to complete sleep. What do you mean? Who has the power here? Rahu is the powerful planet. That's why Rahu is the most extremely powerful point. North node of the moon is the most powerful point in a birth chart. And you will feel here now. You will feel this power. In the 5th house, illusion will take you over. If you are thinking about any kind of speculative investments, that means related to stock, share market, you should be aware of this because it can create long term, when you say, scars on your profile and your body, on your mind. After 29th of March, yes, things will start moving in the right direction. If you see the whole world stock market is falling down, and that's because of all this uncertainty of different planetary positions, different leaders going into some stupid arguments, some stupid discussions, some stupid imposition of things. What happens here is that after 29th of March, things will start becoming more stable. Lot of new pattern you will see, and already we are seeing new pattern from last 2.5 years, which is this AI. Who was knowing AI till COVID period? After COVID period, all AI, everything started. So a new era has already started, but more new things will be coming this time. Sun here is the 10th house lord in the 5th house. That means try to improve your skills during this time. Don't try to be argumentative, and also in those who are having any love affair in their workplace can have a little bit of challenges here. Moving on, there's going to be total lunar eclipse on 13th and 14th. As soon as sun will enter into Pisces and about to enter into Pisces, it's going to be the point where the lunar eclipse happen. It is going to happen in the 11th house for you. That is the house related to your social circles. Try to avoid any kind of social gathering, going out. During the lunar eclipse and solar eclipse, you should be home, relaxed. If there is anything that you have planned on 13th and 14th, just avoid everything. Try to take it slow. Make it after this. Everything related to do with going out in social circles, trying to speak somewhere, trying to travel somewhere, try to avoid such things, which will be very, very helpful for you. And Mercury enters in, oh, sorry, Mercury, on the other hand, will also really get retrograde in Pisces. Mercury here is the lord of the 11th house. Again, that is related to social circles. On top of that, Mercury is the 8th house lord. Sudden ups and downs can happen. And here, the sudden ups and downs can happen in gains. Suddenly, you were supposed to gain something bigger. Now, that gain is not that great for you right now, which will make you feel disappointed. Somewhere in that area, you should be little bit careful during this time, not to make any kind of arguments with your loved one, someone who has given you a lot of hope, lot of, always someone who's with you. Try to be nice to them, try to be very, very accommodating to them. Sometimes, what happens, Rohitji, that people have only their motive, they don't see the other person's motive or genuineness. So this is a time to recognize their motive and genuineness also. Saturn, on the other hand, enters into Pisces here. This is a very great transit and begin of Sadhisati. Those who have moon in Aries, they will begin Sadhisati. Those who have moon in Pisces will get into second phase of Sadhisati. And those who have moon in Aquarius will get into third phase of Sadhisati. And those who have moon here in Capricorn, they will end their Sadhisati. So good news for Capricorn people, but challenging and conditions for Mars, for Aries moon people. You will see that during this time, lot of effort you'll have to put in the workplace. But fifth house Saturn is the exactly placement of Saturn which happened when there was the major eclipse which was happened in the birth of Saturn. So Saturn got birth, sun took it in the hand, and suddenly there was an eclipse. And this is exactly that kind of energy only that we see again. Why? Because Saturn will be at 0 degrees again at infant stage, and when sun will also enter here, then Saturn enters here, suddenly there is an eclipse, and Rahu will be taking over all the power in this sign. Sometimes in such cases, I have seen one time in such eclipse, someone got a very, very big lottery win. So that is possible, but play at your own risk. But very big gain you will get in your bank account. Suddenly you see that very big thing has coming, or very big contract you see here. It is possible, good way also, but bad way is that we have to be very careful with speculative investments, not to do. For children also, if they need very big money, heavy money or some money, try to avoid spending now and ignore and tell, okay, we will do it somewhere later now. Even loved ones, if anyone is asking for iPhone, anyone asking for any gifts, luxury gifts, try to avoid during this time, because it can just be so speculative that you give it and suddenly breakup happens and there is nothing that you will gain out of it. Or for the other person, for your kids, you are giving something and suddenly they're not interested in that, and you will be able to lose that, all that stuff. So fifth house is a very, very extremely point of action for all the Scorpio ascendant people during this time, because a lot of transits are happening here. All the best. We'll be making a remedy video here, that how and what remedial measures should we take. Especially, Mercury being retrograde is not a very good time. Mercury retrograde, Venus retrograde, there is eclipse, lunar eclipse, solar eclipse. So it's too much happening in the fifth house for you. That means your creativity will be completely now blocked for a month. Actually 15 days, not a month. Otherwise, be careful and all the best. 15 March, we are doing astrology for beginners course. So those who have joined, welcome. Those who are joining, and welcome to you also. But this is the last time we are saying, if you're coming, come. Otherwise, thank you. Sagittarius. Venus here is the lord of the sixth house. Lord of the, very important. You have to understand, whenever you will see any planet in the relationship you want to see, you will see the role of the planet in this 6th and 11th. 6th house is Dushtana, 11th house is again an Upchaya house. Here also, if you see 6th from the 6, small diseases, overcoming diseases, enemies is also seen from the 11th house, because mostly enemies come from the social circle. They can be friends also, are enemies. Here, the planet Venus is getting retrograde in the 4th division. This time, this month, your 4th house is so populated, so important that I can't even say. That means your home, your emotional security, anything to do with your vehicles, anything to do in terms of your, real estate, and also anything to do in the area related to your chest, breast, chest, heart, lungs, blood related issues. Everything can be seen from the 4th house, chest. Milk. One very good research I came across, that when I came across a woman who is American, She is a client of ours. She said I pumped nearly 6 to 7 liters, I guess, if I'm not wrong, of milk every day when I was pregnant, when I gave birth to my child, and I used to donate the blood because donate the sorry the breast milk. 6 to 7 liters every day she used to pump out because moon was in the fourth house, aspected by Jupiter. This is Gaj Kesari Yog, but it was aspecting from the 12th house. Jupiter was in the 12th house, aspecting Moon in the fourth house, and Jupiter's aspect was on sign of Cancer only. Moon was in Cancer. Such people provided lot of breast milk to the hospitals. 12th house connection here. ऐसा होता है astrology. Fourth house is also related to the mother's milk. Here Venus is getting retrograde. Venus is the planet that rules your daily work and routine, your debts. There can be more debts that you will have to take on your house, on your car, on your, your from your family. Venus is the 11th house lord. That means socially you will be little bit challenged. You express yourself very nicely. On top of that, not only Venus, Rohiji, here, as soon as Sun will enter into Pisces, this is the time that if you look at Sun's placement, the ninth house Lord is coming to the fourth house and completely taking over everything. It will combust Venus, it will combust other planets, all the planets that are coming here will get combust. And Rahu will be more powerful here, trying to eat up the Sun for an eclipse. But this is not all. This Sun entering in this sign, and especially 8th from the ninth house, that means sudden ups and downs in the luck sector of your life. And this will badly affect you. You will have to take the support of your family during this time. And by God's grace, because this is the sign of Pisces, and here Venus is exalted, you may have shown attitude to your family members or some other people that, oh, I don't need anything. Now you will go back to them asking for some kind of help. And because it's very generous house, Kendra, you will get the help also. 14 March, Sun will enter here. Rohit, total solar eclipse will also happen. Total lunar eclipse. That means Moon will be in the exact 10th house here. And career-wise, very careful. We don't want to make any kind of mistakes in career, especially from 12th onwards till 16th onwards. Moon is a fast-moving planet, so it comes and goes. But that movement from 12th to 16th is an important time for you to not go extrovert out and try to dent your own self. Like in Hindi, we say, "अपने पैर पे कुल्हाड़ी मत मारो." Do not hit your own leg with kuladi. I don't know English, so I cannot say that. But it is the time that 10th house, when Moon will come with Ketu, it can affect your fame, ability, power, dignity, rank. Sometimes it can also create some powerful people using their power in the wrong way and getting caught. So all the people who are in authoritative position, like police, like managers, if you're using your power in terms of bad things, you may get screwed here. Like screwed means completely out of job. So be careful. Mercury, on the other hand, will get retrograde. Mercury is the Kendra Lord, 10th house Lord. So this is another signal that, very careful in the workplace. 10th house Lord, 7th house Lord, status in the workplace. Someone has promised you something, this, that. Now they may come and say, oh, something is not going right. We may have to lay off. We may have to not keep you. Such kind of disappointments also you can hear this time. But in a positive sense, Saturn is going to come and improve everything for you. But it will take time. 4th house is the house of your birthplace. There can be possibility that many people will be traveling to their birthplace. Many people will be coming back, settling down again. Many people will be changing their house, or many people will be going out of the, out of their comfort zone and getting into new beginnings. It's possible. And you will see this all energy in the house happening. Very important, we'll be making a remedial video also for this, that what needs to be done when 6 planets are together here, and what needs to be done the whole month, and very soon, like before 5th of March, we'll be uploading everything. So make sure that you subscribe so that you do not miss that. And another thing is their roots. Many people will be connected and be very close to their roots during this time. They will start following a lot of religious practices. And you must have seen in the past also that the energy is bringing you towards the religious practices of the family. Now the biggest transit happens, and that transit is the solar eclipse happened that same day. Saturn will enter into the sign of your fourth, Pisces. This is exactly that same period. I've repeated in almost all the ascendant, and I want to enlighten everyone that when Ma Chaya, Mother Chaya, went to Lord Surya and showed the baby, that means Saturn, for the first time, and he took Saturn in his hand. He was just an infant, 1 day old. This is the placement, and this is the time when Sun went into a complete solar eclipse, and this complete solar eclipse is happening on 29th of March 2025, exactly the day Saturn will enter into Pisces with conjunct with Rahu plus Sun. Many people are making videos on Saturn plus Rahu, Shapit Yoga. This is happening, that is happening. Won't worry about that right now. Worry about the Grahana first. Our ancestors were not fools to say that, oh, Grahan is very bad, you should stay in the houses. No, there was no technology that time. Still they believe that, okay, it's a matter of challenge. The Grahan is a matter of challenge, and some wrong things can happen here. This is the placement where all the Grahan, everything is happening in the fourth house, which is related to your vehicles, which is related to your mother, which is related to your family. Accidents in vehicles, accidents can happen. Some kind of challenges related to your home, we say na, some kind of repairs in your house, or some sudden expenses to the house can come. Suddenly traveling to your home and getting isolated in the house, loss of job can happen. Sorry, but whatever is true, I'm just trying to warn you in the beginning so that you do not take any such steps yourself which can lead you to this. We have free will to control few things. Everyone will say it's a negative video, but what when he say it's in front of you, it's not like something very positive Gaj Kesari Yoga happening here. It is problem, it is challenge, it is Amavasya also. Moon will also be here, it is Grahan also, it is Shrapit Yoga also. Both the benefits are retrograde also. Sun is taking too much power, sitting 8 from its sign also. So automatically it's a very challenging period. It's not like something is made up here. Our duty, or we have taken our oath to make sure that whatever is true is going to be coming in front of you. It's an eclipse time. You have to be very careful, you have to be very vigilant, you have to be very, very extremely any indication related to health, especially your heart, chest, any problem, any heaviness you start feeling, breathing problems, try and visit a doctor. Those who are pregnant, our sisters, our friends, all the people who watch us, all the people who are family members, if any pregnancy is there also, you need to be very careful not to go out during the eclipse, not to loiter around, eat anything wrong. This is the house of moksha, the fourth house. First house is dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Dharma, artha, kama, moksha. The fourth house, the eighth house, and the 12th house are the house of moksha. This triangle, it's called the moksha triangle. Here, all the planets are coming here. So spiritually, this is an extreme important time. If you want to do any kind of practice that has to do with your emotional as well as mental peace, emotional development, you will be able to do it. And because ninth house lord is sitting here, it will be absolutely a devoted time, and your prayers will be answered as well. Ninth house lord sitting eighth from itself, those people who have natural sun placed here can also get into occult practices like getting into numerology, vastu, astrology, because ninth house lord is here. So higher education can happen in vastu, one of the best areas for you to work it out. Make the most of this, don't get scared. It is only a matter of cautions. Be cautious. Anything that people are saying, tabah ho jayenge, ye ho jayenge, nothing is happening like that. You're not getting destroyed. It happens every time. Right now it has happened after 556 years. So ye 556 is a very, very big number. Like next time, I don't know how many thousand, again 500, 700 years later, this kind of placement will happen. Okay, try to be careful. All the best. There is a WhatsApp link in the description also if you want to talk to me personally. And 15th of March 2025, we are doing astrology for beginners, the 8-week course. So those who have enrolled, all the best. Those who are enrolling, I will see you here. Here also we discuss about this only, from introduction of astrology, overview of 7 planets, two shadow planets, all studies of the 12th houses, especially things related to with house ownership, their aspects, what do they mean, who's a malefic, who's a benefic, what are the kinds of dashas that we have, what are the kind of charts that we have, D1, D9, what is divisional charts, how to read them, remedies for all the nine planets, gemstones, medical astrology, analysis of everything, doshas, yogas, 27 nakshatras now I've added. So let's see, let's hope for the best here. All the best, guys. Rohit ji, Capricorn ascendant, moment of truth for you also. Now look here, the area where everything is targeted or everything that is now focused is the third division for you. That means this is related to younger siblings, this is related to courage, this is related to anything that has to do with friendship, anything that has to do with your neighbors. Extreme yoga karka, that means in your chart, Saturn is Venus is the extreme yoga karka, and it is getting what you say retrograde here. This is a challenging position. Third house is very good when it comes to courage, taking action, communication, but retrograde Venus here says I am little bit helpless, I am little bit into going back, not going forward. All the things to relate to communication, take your words back, take your commitment back. This is what sometimes this Venus does for us. Venus, on the other hand, here is the lord of the fifth house as well. Sometimes there is also a little bit of challenge in communication with the children also. There can be possibility that children, communication wise, there is problem, there is challenges, or suddenly you feel too much attached to your children but are not able to express your feelings. That kind of things can happen here. Third house is also the house that is related to all the courage, all the initiatives that we take. This is the time you will take a step back and say, no initiative now, let me just relax. It is also a very important time to revisit your communication that you have done in the past and try to understand where you went wrong. Those who are working on social media platforms, those who are working on anything to do with social media, here, this is the time that this eclipse will absolutely affect you with utmost, you know, what you say, utmost intensity. This is generically not a very right placement of Venus here, because Yoga Karka planet in the third house becomes restricted to give results. But since it is exalted, still it will do any hardship that is required to get the best results possible. Sun here on 14th of March enters into Pisces, and when it enters, it also gives birth to one of a lunar eclipse as well, because Moon will be in the 12th, in the ninth house here. That means destiny wise, guru wise, education wise, also we see a little bit of challenge that is happening. These challenges can be based with the health of father as well, and health of your younger sibling as well, because Rahu and Sun are coming close to each other. So elder siblings' health may be a question during this time, which may require a lot of attention. Friends who were never ever very what you say vanished, they will also come on surface, either for some reason or other, maybe to take your advantage or maybe to take the help of your skills. Ketu in the ninth house with Moon during this time, when Sun, who's the lord of the eighth house, goes eighth from itself, it's a challenge for longevity also. It's a challenge of getting some kind of disease also. Whatever is true is true. It's in front of you. Nothing is made up here. ये देखो तुम्हारे 8th house lord sitting 8th from itself. It is a matter of longevity. Sitting in the 3rd house where Sun is going to be very parakrami. Sometimes this can also cause some sudden accidents, or suddenly you're daydreaming, your calculation does not become nice, and suddenly you become suddenly you hit something, suddenly some problem like that. Small issues come in your life. Possibility of short distance travel can happen, which may be stressful for you. Suddenly, short distance travel, you have to do some paperwork, some legal work, something, and that will be, because third house is all about travel as well. Mercury gets retrograde here. This is one good news. Mercury is the lord here of the ninth house, sitting in the third house of communication. This will make sure that if any communication or any problem that has happened in the past, you will be able to solve it with your skills, with your destiny. Also, any legal troubles that you're going through or any legal work related problem that you're going through, Mercury retrograde going towards the house of wealth will make sure that your wealth is restored. Those who are applying for loan debt, your debt will be approved and stuff like that. So some good things are happening as well, not only bad things. But Mercury getting retrograde in the third house means more introspective communication. That means you will be, this is the time that you have to completely speak to yourself rather than the world. You have to ask yourself, why do you commit? You have to ask yourself, why I am always the victim. You have to ask yourself, how am I getting into situations where I have to fulfill everyone's desires? This is what you need to ask yourself. But other than that, you don't have to ask anything, because one good news is coming to you. Your planet, that means your ascendant lord, is coming to the third house, will be aspecting from here the fifth house, the ninth house, and the 12th house. So that means, number one thing, for education purpose, those who are planning to go to foreign country, that is a tick mark here. Something like that will happen. Education wise, you will be able to go to foreign country. That is one good news. The bad news is that the beginning of this is a little challenge. As soon as Saturn will enter here in infant state at 0 degrees, Saturn is not a retrograde, it's a direct planet, so it will move here with 0 degrees. And this 0 degrees is the one where you can see some kind of challenges. And how challenges, I will tell you. Saturn here is going to come to the third house. That means ascendant lord in the third house, creating more hard work pattern in the beginning. Secondly, because it is going to be completely combust, and because sun, during the time of birth of Saturn also, the same situation happened, where Saturn took the infant Saturn into his hand, when sun took the infant Saturn into his hand, and there was an eclipse exactly as Saturn enters the sign. Eclipse is happening. Same situation in that case is happening right now, which can create little bit of challenges related to your short events. Shortcomings will not be that great. Health wise, you have to be careful, especially your neck, your ears is the place that you can. This is the time that many Capricorn people may already have started experiences ringing in the ears, or suddenly you're sitting and suddenly you're ting, because the energy is like this only. Some short distance travel might have happened or might be in plan, or suddenly because of your involvement, some short distance travel may happen for your family members, which can cause some expenses for you. Short distance travel. Third house is the house that is called Parakrama Sthana, stan of your courage. This is the time that for little bit wrong things, your courage will be much higher. That's why I would request not to do any kind of wrong, unethical things here. Try to go with the book, by the book. Otherwise, Saturn is not going to leave you later. The ascendant lord, I told you, in this case, Saturn is the planet that is a self-destruction planet. It does not care about anyone else. It can self-destroy itself. So careful in such areas. But entering Saturn entering Pisces is such a good news. After all this drama is done, everyone moves out of the third house. Here, Saturn is going to aspect your fifth house. Saturn is going to aspect your ninth and 12th house. That means foreign travel, foreign settlement. Those who have been working very hard for foreign settlement is going to happen. In fact, education-wise, very good time. Those who are expecting some kind of childbirth happens. Love life enhances. There is a lot of communication related to someone with love. Someone falls in love with you. There is some new action that is happening. Saturn aspecting the ninth house. This is the house that is also related to your higher education and dharma. During the time of eclipse, if everyone really wants to do something, some communication, that is Ma Saraswati Siddhi, any Siddhi of Ma Saraswati, you have to take an initiation and a mantra from a guru. So I am not a guru, so you have to find a guru. But anyone who is my student and wants to take an initiation for Saraswati Mata mantra, I can give you the mantra, and you can do it, chant 105,000 times, and you will be able to, what you say, do siddhi of that mantra. That means now that mantra will start acting. Whenever you will speak that mantra, it will be active for you to receive the blessings. Such kind of events are happening, Rohit, during this time. Saturn looking at the 12th house is the best. That means karma that has been or that is now supposed to be done in a foreign country. Some kind of source will come here. Some kind of resource, some kind of source will come and it will take you to a foreign country. Rohitji, you are Capricorn ascendant. Can you tell me something about this insightful thing, Rohitji? Until I drink water. Your voice I cannot hear.
I'm saying that this month of March bringing so many things for different ascendants in different houses, and I think one thing you told that 29th March, so many things happening. I think 29th or 30th March is the day when six planets in.
Yeah, moon will also no 29th only because unless and until moon will come to the sign of Pisces, there cannot be any eclipse
I
because
think
sun,
29th evening.
sun, moon, and Rahu. These are the points that align and solar eclipse happen. Otherwise, it is said Earth comes between moon and sun.
So on 29th of March, we both should sit at home and doing nothing because this is my chart and third house is you. So
Silence.
please,
Or maybe I will go to hospital and then you will have to say, "Oh, Akash, hospital." Suddenly, my because it's my eighth house, no? Eighth house can be some hospital
eighth
also.
house. You see, in eighth house, so
Or
many planets show that you are going to have so much wealth and gains during this period. All expecting the second house
no, Rohit,
sources,
this is
money
wrong.
from money
Wrong.
from different sources.
Yes, we know that. And when it comes to our chart, it cannot become so good. When it comes to other person's chart, it becomes good. No, it is not how it works.
No, we will always, always go in positive zone, not negative.
It is a challenge. It is mostly related to transformation. Some big transformation comes
Transformation.
in. Some big transformation will come through some dhakka.
Or maybe you
Otherwise,
can do some siddhi.
maybe once siddhi happens. That's what my plan is to just sit down, not to work anything, just to do Ma
This
Saraswati Siddhi.
this thing is happening after so many years, and I don't know what.
556 years पहले का चार्ट बनाया उसमें ऐसा था. I have made
Oh,
the chart. I have made every day by day that when okay when was this year? 556 years ago.
important for transformation.
ठीक है. All the best, guys. We are going to be making a video on also on the remedies. So make sure that you subscribe. And 15th of March, astrology for beginners class. I've repeated so many times that now I'm tired, but don't get tired. All the best, and I will see you this class where we will be learning a lot of things about astrology. Aquarius. Aquarius people, suddenly you see that Venus is getting retrograde in Pisces, which is the most important planet for your chart, and this is called Yoga Karaka. Last video I explained what is Yoga Karaka. Yoga Karaka means someone who rules a Kendra and a Trikona. Here it rules fourth and the ninth house. Any destiny, any sukh, any happiness, only Venus can give you. And this time it was starting to give you sukh related to wealth and investments and whatnot, good things. But suddenly it has become retrograde, and this retrograde is a very karmic, very celestial event because it wants to stay here in this house till the time all the drama of the eclipse is done. Just imagine Venus sitting here, Rohitji, is going to make sure that it controls its own Sishya, that means own disciple, Rahu. Rahu is a clear, follower of Venus because Shukracharya is the guru of the demons. After Rahu became Devata, he still had lot of, what you say, Juka, or his things towards Venus only. He loves Venus. Now here, Venus gets retrograde in Pisces in the second house. Real estate investments and anything to do with investment related to your higher education should be avoided during this month. After 4th of March, do it. If you're supposed to pay something real estate, tell them I need time till 4th of March, 4th of April, then I will do it. 4th of March is my birthday, so everyone can wish me, okay? And send gifts also to my house. If you go and write AC Astro on Google, you will get my house address also. So gift bhejo mujhe. Anyways, kidding, don't do anything. Send love and send blessings. All the parents that you're watching, all the brothers, sisters that are watching, And all the friends that are watching, send us
You
love
don't
on.
want to send. You don't want to tell the address of your house 901 and this that and
No, no,
not
Rohitji, not your
okay.
address.
Okay.
Not your address. I will. They can find my address. If anyone wants to, they can go on acastro.ca and
This
find
is
my
your
address.
address, no? Up to 5th of March, this is your address as well.
This time it is my address. 6th of March, I'll be flying back to Canada. Okay, anyways. Venus gets retrograde here, not to do a lot of investment in real estate, fixed assets, not to get into any kind of schemes or things told by friends that okay, आ जाओ इसमें पैसा लगाए उसमें पैसा लगाए, not to make any big commitments during this time. Also, try to be little bit of a secluded, isolated, introvert kind of nature should be there for you during this time. Don't get very open and say that I have this and I have that, and people say give me money. That money will never come back. Either investment or either as if you give us debt, it's not going to come back. Let the invested money be invested, let the open money be open. Don't try to experiment during this time till 4th of April. Here, on the other hand, Sun will enter into Pisces here, Rohitji. This is the time that eclipse energy will begin from 14th of March. And what we are saying here is that 14th to 16th of March, it will be 14 to 13 to 14th of March, it will be a complete total lunar eclipse. And lunar eclipse is happening in the 8th house for Aquarius ascendant people, where Moon will come with Ketu here in this point, and Sun will be with Rahu in this point, which is going to cause a lunar eclipse, also called Amavasya. This lunar eclipse can be a challenge, and this challenge can be more and more related to your health. Second house is a Maraka Sthan. Maraka means it's a killer place, and here the sign of Pisces or Jupiter is the planet that is responsible for death like situations. Eighth house is where the eclipse is going to happen. So death like situations can happen through bad habits, that means alcohol poisoning, sometimes even accidents is seen from the eighth house. Death like situations that you will see near death experiences is what can happen. Sometimes be very careful, because see, Saturn is also going to the second house and will be aspecting the fourth house that is related to heart, and it is really at the cusp. As such, it has to enter that boundary cross, it has to do, but otherwise the partial impact or partial aspect has started coming on the fourth house, that is related to heart, chest, lungs. Here also we have to be careful that suddenly stroke, heart, head stroke, like brain stroke, heart stroke, can be a cause of concern for Aquarius ascendant people, which underlying problems, then nothing is there, but suddenly some problem comes. We are just giving warning. There is nothing that it will happen, only it is just warning that okay, thoda sa careful rahe. Maybe in the month of March, like starting now, it's February when we have uploaded this, make sure you do your blood test, so that if you see this there is an underlying condition, you start taking care of it, so that nothing happens, but at least you are safe. करने के बाद क्या मजा हो? If it happens, then if I make a video that this happened, then there is no fun. The fun is when we make a video before, so that you are very vigilant. On the other hand, Mercury is also getting retrograde here. Look at Mercury. Mercury is the eighth house lord and the fifth house lord. It is an extreme important planet. That means any lottery or speculative gains or sudden events is done by Mercury, and especially in the second house, share market is the place that you do not need to play during this time. Try to be very down. Otherwise, ऐसे में घर बिक जाता है. Sudden ups and downs happen. You're not in the right frame of mind, because Moon is into an eclipse, will be entering into another eclipse, so you're not in right frame of mind, and suddenly you start spending, and put money, and you last day that I have nothing left. One of my client, Rohiji, very sweet lady, she had a little bit of gambling habit. She said I went and I spent like $50,000 of my line of credit home money, and when I came out I said, what the hell did I do? Illusion on the mind. My wife was telling me yesterday, we were making plans that let's go and go away from this world, some very difficult place. So I told her Russell Khema. It's a place near Dubai. It's the biggest casino in the world is coming. Huh? So she's like, casino जाके क्या हम वहाँ जुआ खेलेंगे क्या? So like, it's like, why we are going? We should choose a place where their biggest school is coming, their biggest educational institution is coming, so that our kids can do very well, which I really liked about her. So sometimes illusion, we think that okay, the biggest casino is coming, let's invest there. But those who have children should think about the biggest school or the best school so that they can invest good into their children's career or children's education. Here, this is that placement when Mercury is telling you just be very careful, because if you do any speculative investments, I can bring sudden ups and downs, and that will be your commitment which you'll not able to come out of it. Mercury in retrograde motion only says that don't commit anything wrong from your mouth, so that even in your family, don't commit that okay, I will do this, don't worry, I will do this. Then later you will regret that, oh my god, what have I done? On top of this, what is happening here is that Saturn, the biggest event of 2025, the beginning is Saturn transit, and Saturn is transiting after 2.5 years, removing all the problems, pressure from your head and going to your mouth now. It is a time that you will start now. You will learn. You must have learned in the last 2.5 years. That speak slow, speak less, speak only what is required. Don't give overcommitment. And now this is the time that you will be able to fulfill such things for sure. But in the beginning, what happens is 29th of March, as soon as Saturn enters here, Sun will enter into an exact point where an eclipse will happen. Moon will also be here, because whenever Moon and Sun are together, then only eclipse happens, solar eclipse. So here everyone will be together, and suddenly this solar eclipse will be the one that will be causing a little concern over your health. Second house, Marakastan, problem related to throat, mouth ulcers, problem in terms of dental problems. Suddenly you're sleeping and suddenly a pain arises here and you have to see a doctor. But be careful during the eclipse period, keep some painkiller ready so that you are at least taking painkillers. Later, when eclipse is over, then do anything. Many places there will be not even be any kind of very very impact of this eclipse, but wherever it is happening, our AC Astro and everything, I see from 192 countries people watch this, Rohitji. I have seen data which says 192 countries watching. People are watching from 192 countries. Some places like Madagascar also people are watching. I never ever heard Madagascar where people would follow astrology, but they do. So careful and try to be as much as devoted towards spiritual practice. Your mouth should be only saying loudly any spiritual mantra during this time when there's an eclipse. Don't settle for less. Saturn has come here. This is going to be a great time for you. You will be building property. You will be doing a lot of research, and lot of inherited money that has been waiting for you will come to you. There is possibility Saturn will aspect the 11th house. That means wishes, hopes are going to come true in the next 2.5 years. So do not give up on any small things possible. Like be very extremely motivated, vigilant, extremely what you say powerful here. But overcommitment should be avoided. That is number one takeaway for this whole month. Don't commit anything. Someone says, I want this money. You say, okay, I will see. Don't say, okay, just give me 25th, or I will give you 25th at night. Say, no, just I will let you know. Later say, or still I am waiting for something, I will let you know. I cannot promise right now. That's the approach that you should be taking. See, Rahu is here. It can make you speak something very, very stupid also. Look at some YouTuber what he did, and the whole world is making fun of that thing. The image was very religious, the image was very very spiritual, but the 130 seconds of that person's life ruined the whole image that he created in almost the last 5 to 7 years. 30 seconds, sometimes 30 seconds of our Rohitji is only here only for one reason. He does not trust me, saying कि तू कुछ भी उल्टा सीधा बोल देगा. I have to be here to filter you, and which is very important because I have Ketu in the second house. Sometimes I can speak headlessly, like without any stupid things, and many people may call stupid right now also, which is good because I love um, you calling me. ऐसा मेरा गुरुजी ने बोला. The Guruji says that if someone is speaking bad about you, that means your karmas are getting destroyed. So it is better for people to say bad about us. That is good. But yes, sometimes speaking something wrong, and this placement of all the planets are happening in the speaking area, where Rahu is going to be the most powerful and the winner here. Rahu is going to cause eclipse to Sun, which causes eclipse to every other person, every other planet. So just imagine what power Rahu has, man. It's very powerful. Those who are Durga Mata devotees, And Rahu devotees, no one can do anything wrong to them. They are so extremely powerful. Make the most of it. All the best. We'll be making a remedy video also on this, that what remedies you need to do, how you need to mitigate the effects of this time. And for that, we will see you. Subscribe. And 15th of March, Astrology for Beginners, the 8-week course is happening. So for that also, all the best. Pisces. Now this is the drama of the whole year that is happening in their ascendant only, Rohitji. Rahu made you heroic. Now this heroic act, he will show that how I am the best person in this whole solar system, and how I will just swallow the sun like this without even any hesitation. Rahu is a very, very heroic planet. Very soon it is going to the very best placement for you, that is Dushtana, into the 12th house. This is going to be a period of lot of gains, but now what we need to do and how navigate this period. In this chart, when we look at Venus, is the third and the 8th house lord sitting in the ascendant, getting retrograde, means you will take away lot of communications. You will take away lot of your commitments. You will be saying that no, I cannot do this, no, it cannot happen, no, it is not happening. You will also be doing lot of things that is supposed to be, sometimes going out of marriage, intimate life, also trouble with your in-laws can happen. Some kind of intimate relationship can be coming on surface. That means if you are cheating with your wife, husband, or with your partner, girlfriend, boyfriend, something may come up on surface, because the 8th house planet got, is running back, saying, okay, you know what, I need to solve few things. And this is where we do mistake. This is a time of extreme patience for all the Pisces ascendant people. One of a story, Rohitji. One of a client was not doing very good with his wife. He had an extramarital affair. Then later, after, he started saying that, okay, you know what, I'm not doing very good with this person, my wife, this, I want to divorce, this, that, whatnot. And he consulted me also. I said, don't ask for divorce, nothing, just try to get rid of the other person slowly, because sometimes wrong things happen, you have to just get rid of it. What he did, I'm just telling, because 8th house Venus was in the first house for them, natal chart. So उसने ये किया कि the other, he tried to avoid the other woman. The other woman, what you say, said, I will call your wife, I will tell everything, this, that, whatnot. He said, what, you will call my wife? I will go. I told him, be quiet, don't make any scene, don't tell your wife. He went and said his wife. Now the wife filed divorce and he's thrown out of the house. The house, US house is also gone. The kids are also gone. Everything. Now he's struggling on the wife also was very good friends with the boss of that person who's in the office. She told her, and now he's getting fired also. Just imagine, sometimes in 2 days everything went from hero to zero. So over smart mat bano. Sometimes try to keep hidden things hidden only. During this time also, don't try to reveal your secrets to other people, because it can be worked against you. Same way, Sun entering into Pisces here. See, Rohitji, the Lord of the 6th house is also coming to the ascendant. That means you will be affected emotionally, health-wise also. Stress also will increase during this time for Pisces ascendant. And this is not an easy period at all. 6th house Lord in the ascendant, 8th house Lord in the ascendant. Very soon 12th house Lord will be in the ascendant. So see, all the 3rd house Lord in the ascendant. Every Dushtana, every Upchaya house planet is in the ascendant right now, and is coming to the ascendant in March. Only thing that has been affected in the whole of the 12 signs is your sign, that is Pisces. Sun here, 6th house Lord in the ascendant. Don't ignore any kind of small to small health problems, and especially any problem that is related to bones, any problem that is related to your blood. Do a blood test in the beginning, like 2nd of March, 3rd of March, get a blood test done, so that you see that what are the underlying conditions here and how you will be overcoming these conditions. On terms of, when we look at this whole placement, there is an eclipse also that is happening in the sign of relationships. That means the 7th house. Moon will come to Virgo. Sun will be on the cusp of, Aquarius and Pisces, and this is where the eclipse will happen. Losses, ascendant, and 7th house all are connected this time, and this means relationship is the major area where you have to focus and nothing else than this. You yourself can be responsible because ascendant is where all the things are. You yourself, your attitude, yourself, your action can be responsible for any losses that happen. So it is better not to take any action. If there's someone who pressurizes you, troubles you, makes your life go very hell, just be quiet. Don't react. Don't panic because Rahu wants that. Rahu wants you to turn out to be hero, even if the destruction of the most positive force. It wants you to turn out to be a hero. We don't want to be hero this time. We want to be zero. We want to be Shanta. This sign is not only the sign of ascendant, this sign is the sign of every aspect of your life. Careful. For the eclipse, we're going to be making a separate video where we'll discuss about remedies also. But other than that, the big transit of 2025, that is 29th of March 2025, here we will see that solar eclipse happens the same day Saturn is entering into Pisces. This is that celestial event where in the past, what happened, Rohiji? When Surya Dev was born, Ma Chaya took Surya Dev and gave it in the hand of Lord Surya. And when he looked at Saturn and Saturn looked at him, there was an eclipse that happened. And exactly Saturn was at infant stage. 556 years later, this kind of combination is happening in any birth chart. So, how do we navigate this? We navigate this with the attitude of Saturn is going to do everything good, but it is making a grahana, a shrapit dosha, even what you say, Surya and Moon will also be there. Amavasya, eclipse, everything is happening in your ascendant. That means everything is happening here in this area of your life. Your brain, your attitude, your facial expressions, your mind, your attitude, your actions will not be in your control. It will be the control of Rahu because out of all this, the only powerful planet here who will justify and show his power is Rahu because it says, Sun, you combust everyone now. See, I will swallow you for a while and combust your energy. This is how powerful Rahu is in your chart. And Rahu is all about illusion. It is all about sometimes false, hearing false things about your partner and suddenly reacting over it. This is all forbidden during this time. Try to avoid such things. Try to be very extremely low profile. Don't go into places of spiritual or no, not spiritual, of any material. Like we go to some parties, this that, we have fun there. Try to avoid that places because a lot of problems and trouble with friends can happen. Try to avoid any over communicating, writing stupid things on social media. Try to also communicate less with your loved ones. Try to be very positive even if they're giving you a hard time because they are also going through such kind of placement in some place or the other. If they're giving you some kind of hard time, just say that okay, this is an event that is happening for both of us, so it's not like only me is suffering, she's also suffering or he's also suffering. I need to give more patience and more calm and more value to this situation right now, not make it bad. That's how your nature, your attitude should be. All the best. Individually also we'll be making a lot of videos, so do subscribe. And 15th of March we're doing astrology for beginners, the 8-week course, so make sure that you are enrolled into this. Thank you, Rohitji. Thank you. I know it's a very 2 hours video, Rohitji. So much patience, you take one shot, but yeah, thank you so much. This is how the motivation comes, when we have good subscribers, when we have family members looking for some guidance, and that's why we give this. Thank you, Rohitji.
Thank you. This is not 2 hour. This is 2 hour, 3 minute and something seconds up to the time I will speak. This is a long video, but yes, this is your capacity that you can speak for 10, 12 minutes for one sign because this is an important month and important transit, Saturn eclipse, so many things. Thank you very much. Thanks to all the family members, and you can see the details and the the knowledge of Akashji. So if you want to take benefit either way by learning astrology, you can send details on this number, 15th of March when we are starting classes. And if you want to take consultation, then same number you can approach and team will give you data. Thank you very much to all the family members. Thank you, Akashji. Thank you very much. We'll meet you in some next video. Till then, Jai Shri
Jai
Ram.
Shri Ram, Jai Hanuman, Jai Mata Di, Jai Ma Lakshmi, Om Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya.